Hello. That was an excerpt from Zadok the Priest, written by the composer George Frederick Handel, sung by 650 singers, including some in the room. I'll go into more detail about that later. I'm Samir Savant. I want to talk to you about why singing is good for you. And when I say singing is good for you, I mean singing really is good for you. It sends shivers down the spine. It connects you to complete strangers. It's part of our collective human endeavour. But first, a question. How many of you sing, whether it's in choirs or simply for fun in the shower? Please raise your hand. Wow, that's so many of you. And I'm one of you because I sing. I've been singing since I was a boy. I sing in different choirs, which means that I'm usually busy singing once or twice a week. There's no doubt that singing has given me the confidence to come into a room like this, to hold the space, to look you all in the eye, all because I sing. Music is an essential part of my life. No surprise then that I've chosen music as my career. I am Chief Executive of St George's Bristol, here in the United Kingdom, which is a beautiful concert hall at the heart of our great city. Singing is a universal language. It has existed as long as we have been on this earth and should feel like the most natural thing. A teacher said to me, if you can walk, you can dance. If you can speak, you can sing. In fact, singing is a stylized form of speech. Think of the special bond of a mother singing to their baby. That's a very intimate act, but singing can also be very powerful in large groups, whether that be hymn singing in churches, chanting on the football terraces, or a damn good night of karaoke down your local pub. The largest choir ever was formed in 2011 in Chennai in South India, when 120,000 people sang in unison for 5 minutes. Extraordinary. So singing binds together communities, but it is also a vehicle for political protest. Spirituals first sung by enslaved peoples in the American South and Caribbean are familiar to us today, but in their day contain coded messages. Steal Away to Jesus was a rallying call to the workers on the plantations that there was an imminent escape planned. A more recent example is from Estonia in the former Soviet Union. When faced with their Soviet oppressors in a bid for independence, the Estonians sang, often in large groups, often in the open air. They sang their folk songs in their language from their traditions. This has become known as the singing revolution. Singing is fundamental to the human condition. It exists in all world cultures and transcends borders and barriers. You don't need to be able to read music to sing, and you don't need to be able to play a musical instrument because your larynx is right here. And what happened in lockdown when we couldn't sing, when live music was prohibited? We went onto the internet, we found other singers, we recorded ourselves at home and became part of digital choirs, often on a global scale. We did this because we really missed singing. In my last job as director of the London Handel Festival, I brought together a choir of over 350 people across 5 continents to sing Handel's Messiah in a digital version, Messiah reimagined. So, if singing is so embedded in our everyday lives and has been in history, there must be important physiological and psychological reasons why this should be the case. And indeed there are. The effect of singing on our brains and bodies is so powerful that science is only just beginning to uncover its impact on our everyday mental health and physical well-being. Singing is embedded in the psyche, but also in the memory. I could sing you a song now, in German, that I learnt 40 years ago, but I can't tell you what I had for breakfast. Studies show that singing can support older adults with dementia, because the ability to sing is retained long after the ability to talk has been diminished. And this helps with confidence and communication and can reduce anxiety. There has been a rise in recent years in dementia choirs, including the Forget Me Not chorus. Singing is also good for the young brain, as it aids crucial speech development and language skills. At St George's, we run a community children's singing project called Cosmos. It's been going for over 12 years now. The children meet on a weekly basis, and it's a non-auditioned, voluntary, after-school choir. I've been privileged to sing with these children. Some of them are from challenging backgrounds, but the pride and the accomplishment of doing something together is extraordinary. Their talent and commitment is extraordinary, and the feedback they give is extraordinary. Singing is good for the body overall. It's great for your posture. Now, my favourite bit, hormones. When you sing, the flow of blood is increased in your body, which helps stimulate the production of several good hormones and suppress a bad hormone. Amongst the good hormones are ones that we know, such as endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine, which help us feel happy and relaxed. Oxytocin is probably less well known. It's the hormone that is there when we feel bonded to our communities or a sense of belonging. It's there when a mother sings to their baby. It's there when you look lovingly at your dog, but I don't necessarily recommend singing to your dog. Perhaps most importantly, I forgot the bad hormone. The bad hormone is cortisol, which is present in our bodies when we are stressed, and singing helps suppress this. Perhaps most importantly, singing is great for the soul, for creative self-expression. It helps you tap into your feelings, to discover things about yourself, whether that be your heritage, your roots, and definitely to embrace different languages and new cultures. The Icelandic singer Björk said, "Singing is like a celebration of oxygen." When I first arrived in Bristol in September 2021, I was told many times that there are more choirs here per head of population than anywhere else in the country. I keep saying this, and people generally agree with me. So I'm going to continue saying it, and who knows, perhaps it might end up on Wikipedia. It's certainly borne out in the mass singing projects that we have organised at St George's. We've started Bristol's Festival of Voice, and it has become an annual event now. It is a month-long celebration of the human voice in all its glorious variety, and several singers and choirs have been involved from different communities and singing traditions. Remember that clip that I played at the beginning when me and my friends sang? That was our Sing for the King project in May 2023, which brought together 650 singers, City of Bristol Brass Band, and Ben England, our conductor. It was a celebration of Bristol's 650th anniversary as a city, and also the coronation of King Charles III. We sang Zadok the Priest, which is one of the 4 coronation anthems the composer George Frederick Handel wrote in 1727 for the coronation of George II, and it has been sung at every coronation since, including at Westminster Abbey for Charles III. We've recorded it and sent it to the King with our civic best wishes. Next up, we have a Sing for Happiness project. We want to bring together up to 1,000 people, both in person and online, on a monthly basis, so you should be able to join wherever you are in the world. And alongside coming together and singing, we will do an exercise, an extended study into the participants' mental health, so we can prove the impact singing has. We really want to encourage people to join who haven't sung for a while, possibly never sung in their lives, and haven't sung, or maybe they were told at school they couldn't sing, Rubbish. Everyone can sing. Remember, if you can speak, you can sing. So, I really hope that if you already sing, you will continue doing that, knowing that it's good for you for so many good and varied reasons. If you're intrigued to find out more, simply Google "singing is good for you." Perhaps you might like to find a choir in your locality. There are so many choirs out there. And if you can't find a choir, maybe start one yourself, because I'm sure people will rush to join you. I've had so much joy and happiness from singing, and I wish for you all to have the same, because you now know that singing really is good for you. Thank you.